It's Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live. Always real. Always unpredictable.
You with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I'm in.
Or just won't let it go.
No. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It is Wednesday, March 6th. We are live and we are talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Tori, Bo, Brandon, and I'm Sam. Let's get started. R. Kelly is speaking out and fighting back right now over charges of sexual abuse that recently landed him in jail. Kelly sat down with CBS's Gayle King for an interview that got explosive at times. Take a look.
Stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing.
Robert.
I didn't do this stuff. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man.
Gayle King also spoke with two women who live with R. Kelly. They support him and have been estranged from their families. Wow, that interview is explosive to say the least. I know these are just allegations, but to me, that was behavior of a guilty person projecting, trying to put on a show, trying to look innocent, but he just, in my opinion, came off entitled.
Yeah, he threw a temper tantrum. He threw a major temper tantrum, and he said it was because it was the first time he got to speak, so he was out of control. And what you heard from Gayle King after years and years of beautiful journalism is she quietly stood there. Look, she does not
She's
move.
amazing.
She looks at him and says, Robert, like a mother, sit down. I don't want you talking to the cameras this way. I want a conversation. And he sat his butt down. As a lawyer, I would never have had him do this interview. It's a terrible idea.
What did you think about the interview?
Exactly what Tori just said and what you just said. It's a temper tantrum. I know Jerron Pace, one of his alleged victims, said he needs help because he's been around people who have enabled him in this lie. I almost think in some ways about, I hate to say this, but about Michael Jackson and Jussie Smollett. I'm hearing things where they're saying them just so that you believe them. They have bought in their own lie. Does that make sense, Brandon?
Yeah, he looked like a damn fool, like an absolute fool to me.
I know.
Sit your ass down, boy.
Seriously.
Because forget the 30 years. We got 30 years, allegedly, we got 30 years of marriage certificates with the underage Aaliyah. We've got text messages. We've got all types of videos of him, of Robert, not R. Kelly. We're not calling him R. Kelly anymore. You're Robert, Robert Sylvester Kelly. That's who you are. So for him to get up and do that, right now, you're in the court of public opinion, and you just failed.
So why do you think his lawyers did it? Why do you think allow him to have that interview?
He wanted to.
You really think? I think Bo hit the nail on the head in the sense that everyone surrounding him, including his attorneys, are yes men and women. I don't think anybody tells R. Kelly no. So yeah, and that truly was an embarrassing moment.
Enablers, I want the enablers as well.
Yeah.
Like, Bo, I want them as well.
That's a great point.
If you knew something, I'm coming after you.
They should also have to face justice. I will say, Gayle King, shining moment for her.
Pulitzer Prize-winning photograph. If you see her like this and him like this, it speaks volumes on control and professionalism.
She is professional.
Bravo, Gayle King.
Exactly.
Bravo.
Moving on to Luke Perry. We are hearing from Luke Perry's daughter after her father died Monday from a massive stroke at the age of 52. She posted this on Instagram, saying in part, "A lot has happened in the past week. I appreciate you all for sending positivity to my family. I am grateful for all the love." Meantime, Luke Perry's son, Jack, who wrestles professionally, dropped out of an upcoming show that's set to take place next week. And some footage of Luke talking about joining the upcoming Beverly Hills 90210 reboot is trending right now. He talks about his love of the original cast. Watch.
I don't know. I want to because I love those actors, and it'd be really great to get on the set with all of them again.
Oh, man. I mean, the reboot is in the works. I don't think it's going to be the same without Luke Perry, unfortunately. But what I take from this is just hearing from his daughter. You have to, you know, at 18 years old, she's not going to have her father walk her down the aisle if she chooses to get married. She's not going to have her father at her college graduation if she chooses to graduate from college. All those pivotal moments, a child if she chooses to be a mother. He won't be there for her. That's got to be so hard. She must be in shock.
Yeah, it must be hard, especially if it's not something that he did to himself. It's not like he was in drugs. It's not like he was battled with alcoholism or something. It's something like, Bo, you said the other day, it was a large number of people per day who get suffer strokes.
It's the 5th leading cause of death, and 1 every 4 minutes dies of stroke.
4 minutes.
It's a lot. Unfortunate.
And again, I can't emphasize it enough. If you sincerely think something is drooping or wrong, don't be embarrassed. Call 911. everyone react to this, because if anything, let that not die in vain for that.
We don't know a lot, Tori, about his medical history. I don't know if he was a smoker. I don't know anything about that, but he's an otherwise healthy-looking individual.
Yeah.
Right.
But that aesthetic, that appearance is not true to what was going on.
Especially when it comes to genetics, too. Yeah, we will definitely follow Luke Perry, though, and we'll give you guys all the new details if we find out any additional ones. Well, millions worldwide have watched the new Game of Thrones trailer. After it was released yesterday by HBO, the YouTube video, get this, already has more than 22 million views.
Oh, my Lord.
And speculation over how the popular series ends is fierce. Last night, actor Kit Harington weighed in. He plays Jon Snow on the show, and he revealed that he got very emotional when he learned what happened to his character. Here's what he told Stephen Colbert. Watch.
I was very shocked and surprised at certain events unfolding, and then I blurred my eyes out.
So I know you two are huge Game of Thrones fans. I've yet to watch it. I know I need to. We both need to.
You have to.
Is this the end of Jon Snow, according to what you just saw?
I have a feeling, because of George R.R. Martin's tendency to kill off major players, my theory is he dies and Daenerys takes the Iron Throne. Now they're together, we think, and I think he dies from the White Walkers.
They're cousins.
Oh, yeah.
They're cousins.
Yeah, they are.
But he's died before and been brought back to life. I mean, his character.
Is this a soap opera?
Yeah, hey, black magic. Black magic. You can't win the throne with black magic. You'll see if you watch. You'll know what that means.
Right.
But I mean, he's such a pivotal character. They have to kill him off, but I don't know how they're going to do it. I want to know what happened with that third dragon.
The big dragon. That big question is that third dragon.
Okay, let's not give away too much, okay?
Why? Because you haven't watched? Everyone else knows what we're talking about. Okay. You're done with Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Let me know.
That's such a good show. Unbelievable. Show. It is. Yeah, it is.
I'll cue it.
Cue it. Controversy is brewing for Gillette right now. There is a new petition calling for the popular shaving brand's name to be removed from Gillette Stadium in Boston. This after the New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft was recently charged with soliciting prostitution in Florida. Officials there busted a sex trafficking ring. Kraft and the team have both denied he did anything illegal. Given the brand's recent stand against toxic masculinity in this ad, which went viral, does Gillette now have a moral obligation to remove its name from the Patriots Stadium? What would you say to this petition?
I don't know. I don't know if what Kraft did is necessarily what Gillette is talking about in the ad. I see them as a little bit different. But what I do think, and Brandon's probably going to disagree with me, I think he should lose his Super Bowl ring, and I think he should have to sell the team.
Super Bowl ring?
Brandon, there's too much character at stake here for the NFL. If they can get rid of Ray Rice, and I know what he did is atrocious, if they can make Donald Sterling sell his team, why does Robert Kraft have 6 rings on his head?
You're comparing punching a woman on the elevator, uppercutting her, and you're comparing calling black people who are your employees,
which is free speech, as bad as it is.
Okay, which is free speech, but these are the people who work for you off of going to a place and getting whatever. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
It totally depends, and let's go back to the petition. The petition was very clear. They have no problem with sex workers here. If it's just Robert Kraft and a sex worker, they have no problem. Based on what they know, they believe that Robert Kraft was somehow aware that these women were there against their will as victims of sex trafficking.
He's still soliciting a prostitute, isn't he, Sam? It's still an illegal act.
Yes, that's still an illegal act, but according to this petition, they don't have a problem with consensual prostitution.
Okay, well, he's cheated a lot before, and I think he's cheating a lot.
Well, they want to see if Gillette can stand behind their words, because their new slogan is the best men can be. So do they believe that this is the best a man can be? They don't believe so. And I think this petition is quite interesting. If you read it, you'll find more additional context. DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up next, find out how HBO's Leaving Neverland is affecting Michael Jackson's music legacy. Plus, Emilio Estevez is back with an inspiring new movie. I sat down with him for a one-on-one interview to talk about The Public, and he shares his thoughts on being a part of the iconic Brat Pack. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. A pair of first cousins are working to change Utah's law so they can be legally married. Should they be allowed? We're reading your comments coming up next.
Robert Kraft, the worst a man can get. Can I say that?
The one thing I'm not sure of is that it's not the Robert Kraft Stadium, it's the Patriots Stadium. I do understand that. I don't really know where I stand on this, to be honest.
The casket.
Right.
Of the Patriots. But with the Gillette and P&G, Gillette owns the stadium.
You're going to go with with that, then you're gonna have to change a lot of stadiums. There's a lot of things that I think this is.
I do like the idea of people holding brands accountable. If Gillette is going to profit off the slogan, "The best man can be," if they're going to profit off that, all these people that are part of the petition are saying, are your actions going to follow your words? Because they sincerely believe that Robert Kraft is aware that these women were
I need them to have evidence.
victims.
I want to know what evidence they have. That's it. You're right. I want to know why do they think Robert Kraft knows that, and that will give me more insight into what my decision.
Because they did make a clear line. We have no problem if these are sex workers. These are not sex workers, and we believe that Robert Kraft knew otherwise.
It's aside from the illegal punitive part of this, I'm still going to look at this as I think this is a man who's gotten away with a lot. I think this team has gotten away with a lot. It's always about cheating the system. All they get is a slap on the wrist, $10,000 fine. That's nothing to Robert Kraft. That is nothing.
It's a dime in the bucket.
But
a drop in the bucket.
What has he gotten?
But if he's not involved with it as a actual sex trafficking ring, then it's not the same as Ray Rice punching a woman. It's not the same.
XOX agrees. She says, look, losing a Super Bowl ring is a little dramatic. He didn't sexually assault anyone. It was in some what he thought might have been.
He's a cheat.
That's a different story.
Tell them why you're really mad.
It's a preponderance of evidence. Come on. Yeah, exactly.
But he's not married, am I right?
No,
I just want to see.
That's right.
No, I don't even want to go there. But I was going to say.
The man, he's a widower.
He's a widower. Yeah.
Widower.
What's funny?
Let us know what you guys think the punishment should be and if Gillette needs to stick to it and what you think about the petition. Also, do I look like Mrs. Frizzle?
Because she's speaking in a sold out. Welcome back to DBL. Newlywed cousins want their marriage to be recognized in their home state of Utah, and they say that they have been in love since childhood. On Monday, the first cousins got married in Colorado, and once they crossed state lines, their marriage was no longer legal. Now they are petitioning to be legally married, despite their parents being siblings. In Utah, it's actually legal for first cousins to get married if they are older than 55 and can prove that they are infertile. So DBL Nation, should you be allowed to marry your first cousin?
Ooh.
I'm not eating lunch after this. I'm letting y'all know right now. But let's get to these comments. Heather from Facebook says, people used to marry cousins all the time. It's how they kept the money in the family and supposedly kept the bloodlines pure. Y'all act like this is something new. Well, Heather, this may not be something new, but it's still something gross. Absolutely gross.
Listen, I don't agree with this at all, but who are we to judge if someone loves someone? I think it does fall under the kids. If you're going to have children and you're going to have a heightened percentage of that child having some sort of disability because of that, then yeah, there's a problem there.
Sam, when I tell my sister or when I tell my cousins I love you, it's not because I want to date them, I want to marry them. There's a different type of love.
I agree, but let's yeah.
Hey, fifth host.
Joe says, hashtag fifth host. Joe says, whoa, I'm as open-minded as they get and I have issues with this. I would never entertain the thought of being with any of my first cousins. I come from a family with genetic issues. I am a carrier of Gaucher's disease. I have a real 25% chance if Brooks, my husband, had it. I have a real problem with the genetics of this. So if they're planning on having children, I'm not okay with this.
What if they're not having children?
Then there needs to be a liability or a vasectomy. I'm that concerned with that being.
Yeah, it's unfair to the
It's unfair to the child. It really is.
Well, we got a comment from Joanne that says from Facebook, they're both adults. Who cares? It's on them if they have kids with problems. Same as multiple wives. If some man wants to have 3 relationships at the same time, why would anyone care? Joanne, I only know to respond to this with a song.
Oh, boy.
By a guy named Brad Paisley. Dave,
I love Brad.
Oh, my gosh. What?
So,
next time I'm ready.
Yeah. Let's see how this goes.
Do we need bongo drums? Okay.
First date, first kiss, first taste of loving. You were my first cousin.
Get him, Bo. Get him, Bo.
We got in a little trouble with your dad, my uncle, 'cause you were my first cousin. One more, Sam, for you.
I'm so uncomfortable.
In the backseat of that Regal.
Oh, God, no!
What we did was illegal, 'cause you were my first cousin.
That was fantastic, but I think just in case for editing purposes, You didn't write that song from experience?
No, I did not. It was Brad Paisley, but this does go on in the South. I'm afraid to say.
Wait, Brad Paisley really wrote this song?
Yeah.
I thought you tweaked the lyrics.
No, that's Brad Paisley.
That's a real song. Oh, boy.
Just paying homage to one of my favorites.
Yep. All right. Well, that was fantastic.
Next time I hear someone talk about the lyrics in rap music, I'm going off on them. Did I just hear what I think you did? First and foremost, you did a great job.
Yeah, you're fantastic.
It was beautiful.
I know what that is, Sam.
I know. Okay.
Can you twist? Just.
You want to be turned?
Yes, I want to be turned.
All right. There's a courtesy. Well, let's get right to Raquel. Fallout from HBO's Leaving Neverland is affecting Michael Jackson's airplay. Raquel Villanueva has the news at the moment.
Well, Sam, right now, radio stations worldwide are dropping Michael Jackson's music after HBO's Leaving Neverland aired this week. From Canada to New Zealand, stations are pulling his song from rotation. In the documentary, 2 men claim they were abused by the late pop star as children, but his family is still coming to his defense. Paris Jackson is defending her father. The 20-year-old says she does not believe his accusers and has not seen the documentary. She's also reportedly worried the film will affect her acting career.
Wow. Well, things start being laid in the sand. Now we know. This is it. This is the start.
Yeah. All right, well, coming up on DBL, I sit down with Emilio Estevez in today's Chatting with the Stars. Find out the nod he gives to The Breakfast Club and his new movie and what he says it was like growing up with a famous dad. That's coming up next.
A lot of people loving Bo's beautiful song. There's also Bo, who sings I Want to Check You Over for Ticks? Brad Paisley, great lyricist, very strong lyrics, very sort of easily understandable, which is great. I did want to say XOOX wrote, ew, 1 billion people exist in the world and you want your cousin? Nah. Their child wouldn't hear the end of that. Gross. And again, we've heard of second cousins and third cousins and fourth cousins, but when you are with your first cousin, it's a 12.5 same genetics, same DNA, so your child would have a 3 to 4% chance of having a birth defect. That's too high in my opinion, and also just weird. Stephen George wrote, step inside, it's a wild ride, come on, ride on the magic school bus. So we are making a graphic for the school bus. I did end up looking a bit like Mrs. Frizzle in today's, and we want to know your favorite part of Mrs. Frizzle's school bus. Carlos! Carlos was always smart and he's getting in trouble. I like the respiratory system episode, so let me know your favorites. Bye, guys.
Not us.
Welcome back to DBL. Emilio Estevez shot to fame in the 80s as a member of the Brat Pack, starring in unforgettable films like The Breakfast Club. Now, more than 30 years later, he's back in a library for his latest movie, but this time he's not serving detention. Earlier, I sat down with Emilio for a special one-on-one interview. First, check out a clip from the public.
Mr. Goodson, I gotta talk to you. There's not enough shelter for us people on the street.
Who is us?
We could all come stay at your place.
Emilio Estevez, we are so thrilled to have you here. Your career, what a long, incredible career you've had. Iconic movies, too many to name, but I have to say my favorites are Breakfast Club and The Young Guns.
Thank you.
I have to ask, what do you make of being a part of the Brat Pack then? And what are your thoughts of being a part of that iconic group of the 80s today? Has it changed at all?
The fact that that movie has transcended generations, that it's still relevant.
Every single line.
There's a Easter egg in this movie. There's probably the first 10 minutes
because
of the film.
library?
In the library.
Yes.
We're back in the
Which
library.
part?
So there's a scene where there's a librarian reading a book to a group of children, and the book that she's reading is Ali Sheedy published a book when she was 11 years old called She Was Nice to Mice.
I had no idea.
And she's reading that book.
Brilliant.
So a little nod to Ali, a little nod to the Breakfast Club.
What did Ali say when you told her about this? Does she know?
She said, "Oh no," she said, "I want a part in this. I don't want you to just put my damn book in there. I want a part."
Yeah, you're the director. Come on, pull some strings.
Right.
I have heard you say a number of times that you got into this business as an actor not for the fame, which is the juxtaposition of just that statement alone compared to what we see with social media today and all the fame.
That's right.
I love that about you. So what happened when you told your dad, Martin Sheen, an actor, when you told him, hey, I want to be an actor too? Did he give you any advice about how to be private in such a public world?
Well, the first thing he said was, don't change your name. And for a moment, I thought, well, if I go with the Estevez name, I don't really look Latin, and all the same things that my dad got pushed back on in 1958 when he decided to change his name. So in 65 or 66, his father came from Dayton, Ohio, to see him on Broadway. And he'd never been to New York before, and he looked up on the marquee and he saw the name Martin Sheen, and he just shook his head. And my dad saw that, and he was humiliated. And so in 1979, 1980, when I started, he said, don't make the same mistake I did.
I think it was a great advice from your dad, and you definitely paved your own path. We got to talk about your brilliant cast, from Taylor Schilling to Christian Slater to Gabrielle Union, Alec Baldwin, Jenna Malone. The list goes on and on. Speaking of Alec Baldwin, we on this show we cover the daily news, and so we've talked about his back and forth with the president. We've talked about his impersonations of the president on SNL. Because you know him personally, I want to know from you what you think about that clash back and forth with the president, and also, do you find it necessary to have political satire in this politically divisive climate that we have today?
I think the comedians are leading the charge. And I think that when you approach something with humor, you humanize it. And I think that those who are critical of Alec, well, they lack that real center and that sense of humor.
Come on down.
This is Detective Bill Ramsden. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to open that door.
They're not coming out of there unless we make them.
I am not prepared to be in a standoff with a cop.
You're the one who's always like, vive la resistance.
This is bigger than riding the metro and getting organic food.
So what do you hope that the audience leaves with when they leave after watching your movie?
Well, recently there was an article printed online. It was a writer for Forbes, and he said, "Why do we need libraries? When we have Google, when we have Amazon, we don't need libraries anymore." And the pile-on was so intense by librarians and other individuals who just said, you know, here's why libraries matter. Here's why they're important. They're free for all. They are true democracy in action. So they were forced to take that article down after about 2 days.
I go to the public library with my daughter for these free services they have, whether it would be story time or puppet shows, and I go in there and they're so crowded because so many people, that's their only resource.
That's right.
So there's so many elements on why we need public libraries. It was such an honor to speak with you. I want our viewers to know, because this is a very important movie for all of you to see. So right now it's being screened at different film festivals, but it will hit theaters April 5th. Make sure you go. Thank you, Emilio. It was so nice to meet you. Big fan of yours. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Wow.
It's an incredible movie, and as serious as the content is, so to speak, it's funny.
Yeah.
There's so many moments where you're laughing out loud, like hunched over. It's such a good movie. It has everything in it.
When he said libraries are democracy in action,
I know.
Volumes.
Yeah.
Beautiful interview.
Yeah, and he wants to turn it into a TV series. So
love
we
that.
shall see. We'll be right back.
Promotional consider.
In gaming, tech, and pop culture news, today we're here to review Captain Marvel, which stars Brie Larson in the titular character of Carol Danvers, and she becomes Captain Marvel to help defend the Earth from the oncoming space galactic war between two alien races, the Kree and the Skrull. Chris, I'm going to you first, man. Give me the good, the bad, the great, the ugly, and it doesn't sound that good so far.
No, this is a big old bag of so-so. Everything is just okay with this movie. There's so many
missed opportunities. She was on a team of like super warriors. They could have had so many funny interactions with that, like Guardians of the Galaxy style. And you know, the only really good interaction that her character had was with Samuel L. Jackson. That was really good.
Yeah,
the back and forth was great.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't appreciate how they treated the Skrulls in this one. They're pretty much just peasant refugees when they're supposed to be a giant galactic empire. So
yeah,
the movie was just so-so. She wasn't that great. I would say, well, now we'll do the final.
She was almost there, I think, and I want to go back to your energy with the team because I feel like Samuel L. Jackson and her were the only two that worked really good together in this movie. Her and Jude Law didn't play off of each other as well as I really wanted them to. I mean, come on, you're like a mentor mentee situation. Like, you guys need to have some good energy, and she was trying to crack jokes that just weren't timed well. They just weren't really that funny, and Jude Law's character wasn't even like a snicker. Like, come on, man, some kind of something to let us know that you're at least amused by this character, because they have a big past together, but it just doesn't show at all in this movie. So, Chris, what are you recommending for this one? Wait for Redbox, go to the theater, or don't see it at all?
I'm going to recommend go to Redbox for this one. If you're looking for a great movie to see in the theaters that's a female action hero, go see Alita Battle Angel. Skip this one. Wait till Redbox for this one. You're not missing too much.
I gotta say, I would say see this in theaters. I think it's a good but not great adaptation in Marvel's lineup. So check this one out, you guys, and we will see you next time on Double Jump.
Welcome back to DBL. We only have about 20 seconds.
Don't sing that song.
I can't. I don't have a guitar yet. No,
Okay.
we don't have enough time.
Can you just say goodbye, DBL peeps?
Goodbye, DBL. I hope I don't see you in hell. Just in heaven. See you later.
That's good. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, guys. That was awesome. Way to go.